The Bride of the Wilderness, a novel by Charles McCarry. Mutate nomine de te fabula narrator. Horace, Satires, 1169. Part 1. England. Chapter 1. As soon as the candles were lit at the wedding feast, Henry Harding asked his daughter Fanny to sing. She had just learned to play a new Italian instrument, the viola d'amore, that had seldom before been heard in England. With 7 strings to play upon, and 7 sympathetic strings quivering beneath them, the viola made a thrilling foreign sound. Fanny closed her eyes as she sang "Tell Me No More You Love," her father's favorite song. She was 17 years old, and she looked like the portrait of her dead mother that hung above the mantelpiece. Black hair, trustful eyes, slender neck, and a wheaten complexion that her father called the golden skin of Araby. When Fanny opened her eyes at the end of the song, she saw her father smiling at her in his boyish, delighted way. The wedding guests were clapping their hands and calling out the names of songs. Fanny waited for them to be quiet. A man had entered the room while she was singing, and now Henry got to his feet and held out his hand to welcome him. Fanny did not know the newcomer, but she was not surprised to see him. Her father was famous for his hospitality and often invited strangers to supper. The man touched Henry's outstretched hand with a limp gesture and looked with boredom around the circle of flushed faces at the table. He was bony and tall, and stood with one foot well before the other, like an actor playing a gentleman on the stage. The servant offered him a goblet of Canary wine, Henry's best. He sniffed it disdainfully and gave it back without tasting it. Fanny began to sing again in her sweet soprano voice that was almost like a boy's voice. The stranger, standing well back in the shadows, with his chin resting on a hand covered with jeweled rings, watched her intently. She continued for an hour until her throat grew sore, and then sang a tavern song, "I Gave Her Cakes." The wedding guests joined in the chorus, shouting out the bawdy words and pounding on their goblets with their knives. The stranger's face changed, and a wise little smile came to his lips, as if he had learned a secret about Fanny. If she knew this song, he seemed to be thinking, what else did she know? He was looking straight into Fanny's eyes as she sang. She looked...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?